Episode 3, day 3. This is how it always ends. You know
the
what
end
I mean?
is near.
And there's that part of you that's feeling the genuine relief. And, you know, also, too, you're dreading the flight home. You just want to go back to the hotel and have another normal night. Like, every night that we've had has been crazy. Because we go to the gym, we have fun.
Oh, it doesn't end, right?
No,
it's like
no,
a 12-hour day.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, this is the last day of the expo, so we're all kind of feeling that wore-out feeling.
But you're looking forward or not looking forward to the flight home?
Well, sometimes the flight can be, you know how it is.
Hold on one sec.
You know what I mean? There we go.
There we go. That's better.
Ryan knows everything. He can fix the speakers. He can
On the fly.
You know what I mean? You got to know everything to be the boss.
I'm really looking forward to the flight home tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah.
You're planning on sleeping the whole thing, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was we were Arnold's at the beginning of March. We were FIBO, and then 4 weeks later we're here. Guys, I've had enough.
Oh, well, I guess once we get home from this trip, we don't fly anywhere till the Olympia. Big trips.
Big trips, but we're not going to be the same. We're not going to have the same presence at this year's Olympia as we did in previous years.
Yes, and there's a strategy behind that.
There is, and you know, this is going to be the one of the, not the last. I'm not ending this, but it's going to be one of the last platforms. We're going to be live from a big trade show like this. We're not going to be live from the Arnold's next year.
Right.
We are going to be live from FIBO.
FIBO will still be live, definitely.
But then that's it.
We're going to use the live show from the office a lot more frequently.
Way more. We're going to see everybody on Thursday, May 28th, again, live from our office.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks after that.
So I can't book that day off then?
No.
Sure.
You've got to be in the office every second Thursday.
Every second Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember. But this was a great week. We came here. Jonathan had a week off before this all started. We literally had no schedule. I had Manuel and Johnny Dow and Klaus plugged into the schedules, and we had no guests. And then Jonathan was like, well, I got to go on my holiday for a week, so let's try to fill this in.
I wasn't going to ask you guys because I knew you didn't have anybody.
You didn't say a word to me.
I didn't say a word because I know that you guys do your best work under pressure.
Right. You just know that I leave things to the last minute and then I make it all come together. That's how it works. No, but we had, like, you know, I'd put some feelers out and I'd ask certain people to come on. And it's tricky in this industry because, you know, we run everything on a real tight schedule because of the show. But other people don't run tight schedules on these weekends all the time. They maybe have a couple things like, you know, Neil Hill had a seminar he had to do and then he had to be at the booth for a couple hours. But there's all that open time that they have that they can do what they want with. And it's, so you know, they got to give you a specific block of time to come on the show. So we really appreciate what the guests do because they're sacrificing their walk around, their sitting to eat, their chat with their friends time, right? You know, I'm sure he wants to go bug Flex at his booth and go bug, you know, the other guys he helps and buddies and all that. And he came by and he gave us like an hour of his time, basically.
Well, it was funny. You know what Rob Bailey was saying yesterday or the day before, where I guess we do have our shit together. Because when we say we're on at 11:30, we're on at 11:30.
Right.
We're shooting live.
Yeah.
So we can't. I mean, sometimes we have a couple minutes delay, but that's typically because we're just testing some of the equipment here, making sure everything's good. Sometimes, as you guys maybe can see from behind us, it gets really loud here for short bursts of time, and we might have to delay to wait till that music is over or blasting.
Yeah, sometimes the booth right next to us might be doing a big T-shirt giveaway, and they're blasting on the speaker, and there's people screaming, and we just have to give it a minute.
And it's funny, and then they get here, and we're like, okay, guys, stand here, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, relax.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I was telling, like, you know, Aaron Singerman and PJ Braun, they showed up right at 2 when I told them to be here.
That was perfect.
And I tell them 2 because it's a 2:30 show.
Absolutely.
So they show up, and they're like, so what's the deal? And I go, well, we go live at 2:30. And they were like, oh, well, it's 2. And I was like, you guys showed up on time. We normally say 2 so that everyone will show up at 20 after. right?
We build the buffer in
We
for
build
them.
the buffer in for him, and then and he was like, "Oh well, we'll go grab a meal and we'll come back." So it worked out great. But that's how it's kind of tough to make a schedule. So we had all these holes in the schedule, and it just came together really well.
And that's through trial and error because, okay, so in the past, say last year, if you said we had a show at 2, your guest would show up at 2
or 2:05
or 2:05, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't think we're they don't think we're live. Really,
the concept of actually being live was difficult. I think most people just thought we were recording it in one take and then we throw it on the channel.
Right.
But so now you learn as you go, right? You learn to ask certain questions that you don't think you need to ask, and you learn to tell them things you don't think you need to tell them. And so now, I'm better at saying, this is what live means. This is why we need you here. And that makes life easier. But the schedule this weekend couldn't have come together better. Yep. We had Neil Hill, who's a legend in bodybuilding. I mean, he helps some of the best bodybuilders on the planet. He's also with BSN, Weider, Gasp.
Yep.
So, he's got to be careful with all his sponsors. They got to be okay with him coming. He had no problem coming on the show. It was awesome. And, last at FIBO, we had Branch Warren, who was our first Arnold Classic champion, to be on the show.
Yep.
So that raised the bar. Now we had Arnold Classic champions.
Yep.
This show, we went all the way to the top. 6-time Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates, on the show. He cleared it with his boss, and he said his boss said it was okay. So he came on the show, and that really, I think it's going to take a while to sink in with me that we had 6-time Mr. O on the show, and my favorite bodybuilder of all time. If you look at how I grew up, right?
Like I told you, I thought it was your best, not only guest but also best interview to date. I think it was or one of them. I don't know. It's a toss-up, but I think you heard from a few other people that got a hold of you from back home.
Yeah.
That also said that was your best.
Yeah, it's because I didn't have to research it at all.
No, you did not. Actually,
I already knew all the material. I could have talked to him for an hour and a half.
Totally.
But you got to let people go. I mean, he's got a booth right over there with the lineup, right?
And it was great. I mean, when have you ever seen Dorian Yates live?
Never, ever. Ever. I mean, he's done some podcasts and stuff like that, but I mean, this sort of thing just doesn't happen.
And he was great.
Yeah, he was great. He was relaxed, had a good time, thanked me for it. And then we had, Dana and Rob, they're friends of the show. So, I mean, we always hope that we can get them to maybe stop by, but I mean, we talk about crazy schedules. I mean, they don't even have one. It's just go and never stop.
Yeah.
That's their schedule.
Yep.
So, I mean, we saw them in the hotel on Thursday, right? When they checked in. Sleeping. And we still had these gaping holes in the schedule. And Rob was like, Friday we're going to swing by. And I'm like, perfect. Let's, we'll schedule.
Check. Yeah, I've got a spot open for you.
So, Jonathan ran into him. I ran into him, and it worked out. And it's funny, when they get here, you could tell they genuinely like coming on the show because they get 20 minutes for Dana to lay on the floor.
Yeah, that's right.
And she literally goes to sleep.
We got a lot of room back there.
Like Dana will really crash for 20 minutes while Rob kind of chats us all up. And then we did a half-hour interview. It's 37 minutes.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to keep them that long, but they were just talking and laughing and having a good time.
Yeah.
So, I asked Rob if that was the longest interview he'd ever done, and he said, well, we don't do interviews. So yeah. And that was fantastic. And to be honest, I thought the Aaron Singerman and PJ Braun interview was possibly the most fun of all the interviews I've done in a long time.
It was, there was, it was kind of a, timing is everything, how, Rob showed up and, they know each other and they're good friends too.
And they're both great on camera because they just talk.
Very much so.
They're good at storytellers, right?
They are.
So that was, it was good. I mean, we just had
have those guys on anytime.
Yeah. And then we had Callum Von Moger on, who's a really interesting guy, great young bodybuilder who's taken a different path than most bodybuilders.
Yeah.
He understands that he's got a certain thing to offer and a certain look, and he's maximizing his potential in the right, type of competition.
And he's owning it.
Yeah,
He's owning that.
So we were trying to decide what the theme for the weekend was, and
there's always a theme, and it seems to be consistent each day.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, you know, we feel like blazing your own path was kind of something all the guests had in common.
Yeah.
You know, Callum didn't go the traditional route.
Right.
Neil Hill's done, you know, more than anyone probably ever, you know, I mean, he never planned on being what he is now. And then Dana and Rob, who just, you know, purposely ignore everything.
Yeah.
Dorian, who was told he trained wrong his entire career. You know?
Yeah, the black sheep.
So, and he didn't go to California, and he didn't give a shit about photo shoots, and he didn't wear tank tops, and so all that stuff, you know, and so it was a good reminder to us that we're on the right track because we're not doing what everyone else does. And when everyone starts to do what we do, we quit and do something else.
Well, and I mean, this event kind of ties into that, how we are taking our live platform, and we're starting to feel a little bit restricted at these shows.
Yeah.
Why just do it here?
Yeah.
You know, I think it's time that we take the show outside of these confined walls and start venturing out.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea, and I look forward to it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but, you know, we have such a great thing here with all the people that help us out. You know, it really comes together. I mean, the rest of the guests that we had, you know, obviously Klaus was on, we had Manuel Romero on, we had Johnny Dahl, you know, and then, of course, the man, one of a kind, you know, we had Dino on.
Dino.
And, you know, he treats us so good. We've been going on about it all weekend. We don't need to go on again. But, you know, it's great to be able to have a little bit of a foundation for us to train in so we feel like we're at home.
Yes.
Because, like, when we're at FIBO or we're at the other places, you know, the good gyms are really far away sometimes. They're hard to get to.
Or it's the hotel.
Or it's a hotel gym sometimes.
Yeah.
And so that, you know, you wind up feeling like you're not at home. You know, I can't
Right.
wait to get home. I can't wait to get home.
Right.
But basically, once we got to Dino's, I forgot I wasn't home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that every single night, there's that little 3-hour window where you're not even away.
No. You
Right?
just take your gym bag. You can
Yeah.
drop it right behind the counter. Pour yourself some water. Go into the fridge. Help yourself. His place is ours, and he's coming to Canada. And
Yeah.
when he comes to Canada, you know, our home is his home.
We'll make sure he gets treated the same way.
Yeah.
You know, well, who else we got to thank here?
Well, you've got your troops.
Oh, yeah, the troops, man. These guys were awesome this weekend. We had Danny Keane, Scott Weston, Tony Clegg, Natty Pump, Martin Briel, and, of course, Matt Regan. These guys came and helped us out at the booth. They worked their asses off.
And I mean, if you can see it right from the beginning, these guys just aren't here during the day, but they're here at the very beginning.
They're hours before we get here.
Well, the day before, when we're here all day, and we've got pallets and pallets of product, and Jonathan had released a sped up version of, you know, our, I guess, you know,
Construction
of the booth, and how there it is. I mean, you know, this takes hours to do, and then it gets inside, it gets organized, you know, each SKU by SKU, so that we can manage our inventory. We've got a lot of inventory at these shows. You know, without these guys' help, we couldn't do the other things outside of the show that we do.
My favorite part of this is every time Jonathan has to get really close to the GoPro.
Mine too. I was going to say that.
That's my favorite part.
I love it.
So,
yeah. I think he actually makes a face.
Yeah, I know. It's always it's the highlight of the clip. There we go.
It is.
There's the man.
There he is. Serious.
That's a giant head.
That's good. Love it, Jonathan. Thumbs up, buddy.
And of course, we got our staff.
Yeah. Got to thank Stuart and Billy, our camera and sound crew. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart and Billy.
Thank you, Stuart and Billy. Of course, Scott McMillan with our social feed. Come on in here, man. So, how was the weekend for you?
It's good. It's good to be home.
Yeah, first body power with Mutant.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's good to see how many fans like Mutant already.
Yeah.
By the time we get, everyone knows who we are. Johnny Down had a big, huge lineup for him, which is great for a 24-year-old.
Yeah.
It's just good to see how many fans in UK we have from Mutant.
You're getting people that know you because of Mutant now.
Yeah.
I mean, you worked in the industry before, and you work with other companies, and you were really doing like your Instagram was blowing up with other companies and stuff. But now you got people that know you as a Mutant guy.
Yeah, it's been really good.
So it's pretty fast turnaround.
Yeah, it's been really good to see people recognize me. People from the army have been down to see me and stuff like that. So it's been fun to come home and see how many people pay attention to Instagram and know that I've switched companies and stuff like that. So it's been really good.
Yeah. No, even have people wanting pictures with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I felt like Ron Barlow for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, stay here. Don't move.
Yeah.
Also, obviously, our producer and director, Jonathan McFarland. Johnny, I don't know if you can come back. I don't know. You want to pop out?
There
you
he
are.
is.
All
There's
right.
Jonathan.
We salute
Good
you,
to see
sir.
you. Thank you.
Jonathan actually fixed an issue that we had at the beginning of the week that enables us to go live. And we're not going to talk about it because it's really complicated and kind of pointless. But he came through, man, and I knew you would.
We had a what could have been an enormous problem with our YouTube account. It was a technical glitch, and it was basically the final hours before we were coming here on Friday. We finally were able to, know we were going to stream live.
And he changed at that point.
Yeah, he was very, very,
He changed, and the weight was lifted off his shoulders. So, congratulations, Jonathan, on a great show. And also, George Pereira, come on in here. I don't think no two guys other than George and Jonathan really understand all the little shit things we deal with that when you come here, you don't see them because they've dealt with them. It's not if we run into problems, it's when we run into them and how many and how big they are. Those are the things we don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And those are the things that you guys flatten out.
And those are the things that I kind of feel guilty about because I get to sit in a chair and talk to people. And then I hear that everything was like really tough and complicated, and you almost feel guilty. Almost,
yeah. I know, Ron.
I see you do your job, and I tell you, you have the only job that Jonathan's job's complicated, but your job actually gives me a headache.
But Jonathan said it best. I'm like the father here. I'm like dad, because he keeps coming to me and goes, Dad, I need more money.
Right.
I keep telling him he's the most expensive girlfriend I've ever had.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
But no, it's like Ryan says, stuff happens. You just got to deal with it, roll with the punches, and get it done.
We have a music video for George.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Shit. Oh, great.
Man.
Here we go again. Yay!
Well, we had, what was it, last year at FIBO?
Yeah.
We found, Justin Bieber discovered you on YouTube.
Of course.
There was some footage.
Oh, lovely.
Right? You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan came up with something.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Something
Oh,
new.
look.
And
There I am.
here it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
I love these jib jabs.
I know.
I got a friend of mine that keeps doing them on Facebook, and he always uses the same picture of me with the same bloated face.
So, George, I hope this doesn't motivate you to,
Leave
get
us
back
and-
on the road in a different way with the rock band.
No. I'm all good here. I think I'm safe.
From one stage to another, great job this weekend, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ron, for kicking ass this weekend.
Oh, well, thanks, man. Put
And,
people to chair and make me talk. Who we got next? Who we got to think next?
That's it. And of course, you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fantastic work
yeah,
again,
I was
man.
here too. Thanks.
Yeah.
You're the
Awesome.
star of the show,
Flawless-
baby.
I was
flawless
on
as
time.
usual.
I was on time 2 out of 3 days. That's pretty good.
Hey, why don't you guys?
Hey,
why don't you guys get in here.
Klaus.
Dino. Hey, Dino.
Come on, you can send Klaus over.
Send Klaus over.
Send Klaus over.
Come on in.
Klaus's head
in.
got in the way of his ears. He couldn't hear us calling him.
Get in here, bud. Up in here beside Ron.
There we go. Get the horseshoe going. Oh, Klaus's head blocked out the sun
There we go. Grab
for a
Manuel.
second.
Everybody get your angles.
Manuel
Grab
Romero. Oh, Johnny Dell trying to take the angle
Hey,
on the outside.
Johnny, Dell.
He's going to get his arm out there.
Come on around here.
Come on, Manny.
Hey, come on over. Get in here. You're not in the
Manuel
shot. Yeah, get in
Romero.
here. Yeah.
We had a shoulder. Okay, say shoulder party for me. So.
All right, well, there's your 2015 Bodypower crew.
Thanks, guys. This is a great Bodypower number 2. Day number 3. Get the guns up. I think Matt Regan has the angle on everybody there. It's hard not to when you're that close. Thanks, everybody, for watching. If you haven't seen all the interviews yet, they're all up on the YouTube channel. I got children playing in front of me here. We will see you again from home office May 28th.
Thursday, May 28th.
I even remember
the
day.